what's going on YouTube? Welcome to the Reformat channel and thanks for tuning into this one. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the new Avengers, aka the all new, all different Avengers. Right, so Marvel is just getting creative with these naming conventions, you know? So yeah, we're going to take a peek at the comics as usual and make a display around it. You know, I'm going to say that these recent iterations of Avengers has never really caught my interest until I recently got into comics more when collecting these figures. And man, I just, this one specifically, I just could not stop reading it. The story was really good. I thought Mark Waid, did a good job in the storytelling, making it kind of modern at the time. And Mohammed Asar's art, yeah, it's good, man. I highly suggest you check it out. But yeah, enough about the comics. Let's check out these figures. Starting off with Captain America, aka Sam Wilson. So in this story arc, he's still fairly new with taking on the Captain America mantle from Steve Rogers. And it's kind of evident. He still questions his decisions. Double thinking everything, subconscious about how he appears in the public and all that. But I thought it was a good reintroduction to his character and who he is to the Avengers. Yeah, so this is the deluxe figure that released in 2021. I'm gonna say. And I know there'd been a couple of versions that he came out with, one without the wings, one with a smaller shield, but you know what, this one's probably the best one. He's got the shield with his actual logo on it, and he's got the wings. Would have been really cool if they gave us the red wing as well. And then we got the OG member of the Avengers, Iron Man. Right, but this time around, something's a little bit different. He seems to have some financial issues that have caused some problems for him. And I won't talk about it too much though, in case you guys want to read it. But yeah, I thought it was interesting how they presented him in this story. Nice to see him in the team though. So for this display, I chose the 80th anniversary Iron Man, which in my opinion is still one of the best figures out there. Iron Man figures. The mold, it's just so classic. It just fits into any kind of Avengers display. Vision is back, but unfortunately he is flying solo this time, so Scarlet Witch is not with him. It's kind of weird, but I think they flipped the story this time around. They give him a kind of like a bigger back end story part. Again, I won't say too much the story, it's not spoiler for you guys, but he kind of plays kind of a mentor for the younger members of the team. Nova, Miss Marvel, Spider-Man. It's kind of cool to see it unfold. He does have the more modern green suit in the comic, but unfortunately, it's a really old figure. I think came out several years back as a 3-pack with Kate Bishop. And this is probably one of the first times I got exposed to the comic book version of Lady Thor, because I never really read any of it from prior to this one. But I thought the MCU did a pretty good adaptation for her in the movies. But yeah, she joins this team because every Avenger team needs a superpower godlike figure to take on the heavier hitting foes. And man, does she deliver. She kicks ass in this comic. I'm gonna tell you. It's probably one of my favorite characters, I would say, in this storyline. I did forget what BAF series she comes with, but it's the same one with Ares, and it's actually one of my favorite figures. But yeah, she's a good addition to the team. She's so badass. Now moving on to the younger generation of the team, starting with Miss Marvel, who is kind of the star of the show. She struggles to find balance between keeping her secret as a superhero, being a regular teenager, and keeping her parents happy. Actually, prior to reading this story, I had no idea she can shrink her body small. Obviously not as small as Ant-Man, but I just kind of thought it was kind of cool. And then we got Kid Nova, who inherited his Nova powers from his father, Jesse Alexander. He's actually gone missing, and he's been looking for him ever since. I think that was the backstory with that. And then we got the third wheel, Spider-Man, aka Miles Morales, who's still kind of learning how to be Spider-Man. Peter mentoring him, but at this point, he's more comfortable and kind of knows when and how to use his powers. But really, the dynamic between the three of them has been really good. They have playful arguments with each other and have their differences, but at the end of the day, they get the job done. Alright, so that about sums up the video. That's all I got for the all new, all different Avengers team. Yeah, so what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below if you guys heard about this team or if you read the story. As I mentioned earlier, yeah, it's a pretty good story arc, and definitely check it out. Yeah, so I guess here's a little sneak peek of what's to come next. Okay, that's all you guys got. All right, keep an eye out for that, and yeah, take it easy, y'all.